On the third day, God spoke to the earth, and the earth responded, not with money, not with gold, but with trees and plants. I believe God was showing us a pattern to wealth, even before we ever learned currency. Welcome to episode 4. My name is Kemi. Actually, it is Olua Kemi. And today we're talking about wealth, but maybe not the way we usually do. Because when I read Genesis 1:11-12, I noticed something specific. God was not just creating plants and trees, He was establishing patterns. Some things were seed-bearing, and some things were fruit-bearing with seed inside. And that distinction right there, it changed the way I understood wealth. That distinction may sound small, but it is not. It teaches us something about outcomes and about wealth. I want you to consider this. Every idea you conceive, every assignment God places in your hands often falls into one of two categories. Something that produces seed or something that produces fruit with seed inside of it. And both are valuable, both are wealth. Let's talk about the seed category. A seed is a vehicle of life. It represents continuity, covenant, and future. A seed carries within it the promise of something greater than itself. And it takes discernment to recognize a seed, especially when it comes from something that does not look impressive yet. And usually, it would not look impressive. Have you seen a mustard seed? Have you seen how massive the tree and branches it produces? Take time to read Matthew 13:31-32. Now you might wonder, if it only produces seed, what benefit is it giving me right now? But look closely at the verse. It says the plant produces the seed, meaning the plant itself is distinct from the seed. The plant is productive in a way that points to multiplication. That plant might be your business. Not the kind that immediately pays you what you desire, but the kind that produces seed. And that seed could be new ideas, new opportunities, new businesses, maybe for other people. Imagine you own a business and have a team that work with you, and then they leave to go start their own business or join another team. Rather than feeling left behind or betrayed, consider them as a seed. What you're doing is you're positioning your company to also be a partaker of that new business. It might not even come from them directly, but you have plugged in to partake of your seed. That is the law of Eden. And one thing we know about God is that He does not stop at 1. He's a multiplier. He expects your 1 to become 2, your 5 to become 10, because He can. So here are some questions. You know we love to ask questions. What have you neglected because it only produced seed? Who have you ignored? Who have you ignored because they only produce seed? Have you dismissed the very thing God designed to multiply through you? Sometimes what looks like not enough is actually a seed. Now let's talk about the second category, the tree that produces both fruit with seed inside of it. Yes, this is the one we chase. This is the one we love. Because fruit is visible, fruit is satisfying. It meets the present need. And yes, I want that fruit too. But did you notice what came first? Seed bearing came first. And I believe God wants both outcomes in your life. Because fruit is for your sustenance in the present, and the seed inside the fruit is provision for the future. The fruit satisfies your current cravings, the seed protects your future. So the question is not just, where is my fruit? It is also, what seed is inside my fruit? Your 9 to 5 can be fruit with a seed, meaning it's not just a bi-weekly or monthly paycheck. It carries relationship, wisdom, exposure, access. These are seeds that can become something else in time. Now here's the part I do not want you to miss. You cannot skim your way into the fullness of what God has designed. You cannot strategize your way into a life without His breath on it. The earth had potential, but nothing happened until God commanded it to. That means ideas can exist in your mind and remain dormant until God breathes on it. He's the one that makes both the seed and the fruit. So I want to encourage you today. Seek God, not in pressure, not in performance, just in consistency. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it is progression. And do not feel intimidated if you can only start with 15 minutes. Because if you stay consistent, in 1 year from now, you'll be amazed at how far you would have come in your intimacy with God. Now, did you notice something? We did not really talk about money because wealth is more than money. I believe money often follows when you find true wealth in God, when you understand what He placed in your hands, and when you learn to cultivate seeds and steward fruit. Alright, people, never forget that God has redeemed you, called you by name, and declared that you belong to Him. Thank you for listening to episode 4, and I will see you in the next.